Hey guys, there's been a lot of changes to the items in the latest patch and many are confused on what to build right now. I've gotten a lot of questions. What's going to be the core build? What are the best items? Although I don't think we have a core build right now, I kind of got a good feeling on what's going to be the best items. So yesterday on stream, we went through every single item, put them in the tier list, and everything from boots to lethality, booster, everything. So you can kind of just see, and hopefully that's going to help you out. So starting off, Thunder Sky are going to be one of the better ones right now. Still works pretty good for first and second item. Black Lever, still, I think it's good. It got such a heavy nerf, minus 1580. I tried Hexblade, seemed fairly decent. I'm going to call it good for now. I think also Eclipse counts as good. It got pretty heavy nerf, but it's still pretty good. I think Triforce, S or A, no. GA, usually don't find a place for GA. I'd rather go Death Dance unless it's like one big fight and you have the option. You're not going to build Strybaker. Hydra seems like an S tier item now. Probably not first since it needs CDR, right? But we did try it, and I think it's going to be a really good second item or third item. Does a lot of damage, a lot of HP, and Spear Soldier did some testing. Doesn't seem to be that good. You don't get CDR and ultimate, and the damage is not even better than Thunder Sky. So it's just like you don't get CDR and ultimate. CDR in itself doesn't do that much, and also it doesn't do any more damage. It's not going to make you more tanky, so it's just worse. Don't think GA is bad, just meh. That's fair, but for solo queue, it's just like, it's so easy to blow it, and it's very rare you can actually use it. Like, then it has to be for one big team fight, but then you have to plan buying it. So then I think you're more likely to build for Death Dance. Could put it in meh, it's fine, I guess. Death Dance is going to be an S tier item now. You probably, you can build it second if they have a lot of AD, but more likely you're going to build it third or later, in my opinion. It's going to be very good though. It's one of the fighter items that got the absolute least nerfed, and it got a lot of buffs at the end of the season, so I think that dance is really good right now. Campunk got some buffs, but you don't want to finish this item anyways, because you rather go other items. If you're going for, I think the change was very good because you get a lot more stats, but it's much more expensive. You don't want to complete it anyways. You just build the executioners and then you finish it sixth item, because then you can build other items that gives you more power spike. This is only stats. You don't want to build for only stats. It's not worth it. But it's overall buffed because it just offers more stats. When you want the sixth item and you absolute full bid, then you just want as much stats as possible. Because unless you're just going to be like sitting on extra gold, so you just get more value. So for night, we're doing the item tier list right now. So it's better. It's just a situational item. It's better than it used to be last season, but you're not going to build this unless it's last item. You can build Executioner. Sunfire, not a fire item. Bad. Honestly, don't. I never see you build this over anything else. Don't. It's doesn't suit Vi's playstyle. She goes in, she goes hard, and she don't want to play sustained fights in this way. So Abyssal got a pretty big nerf, and you can build this if your team is like have a lot of magic damage and they're like absolutely stacking. I guess you could put GA in a situational, that's true. I don't think it's the best, so I prefer Death Dance. But back to Abyssal Mask. It's better for AP champions, obviously, because it reduces the magic resist. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't offer that much. You're better off with the other MR items, defensive. So just don't, or maybe buy it if your team has like 3 or 4 magic damage sources and the enemy team is stacking magic resist. So just to help them out, you can build it, but that's the only case. That must play it is better, but you're probably not going to build this on Vi. Force of Nature is fine. It's not the best. You're better off with other tank items. Frozen Art is good. Frozen Art is still good. It lost the rock solid passive, but it's still a really good item. And on hit champions are kind of back because crit 80 carries got nerfed, but Frozen Art is great against on hit, which is back in the meta. So Iron Slurry, this is awesome, really good item. It's more of a situational item, but it's really good. It barely got nerfed, and the support items are great to begin with. So this is extremely good against a lot of AoE. If you play for team fights, if you're not playing for a carry in that specific game, you're more of an engaged kind of a champion, is a great like 3rd, 4th, or 5th item, especially against Carthus. If you're playing against Carthus, I almost build this every game, and it's really good. It's super cheap. It's 2200 for that much stats and the shield, which is amazing. Randuin's a bit worse off than it was last season, but it's still really good if you do play against crit. It's great. If you don't, it's not amazing. And crit is less in the meta right now. But if you're playing against crit, build it. If not, don't. Stormail is fine if you need. I don't think you build this if you need healing reduction. I think you're better off with Executioner, and thus you have to be the absolute frontline. And it just has a lot of value that game. Then it's fine. If they have a lot of auto attackers, you're gonna stack a lot of armor. If you're playing as the comp which has mostly AD, you just want to get a lot of armor, then it's also gonna do a lot of damage with the reflection. So it's not the best Vi item, but it's a fine and a good situational item, I suppose. I guess it's more of a situational. Steraks got a little bit of a nerf, not the biggest nerf when it comes to Vi, so I think it's still good or situational. So if you have a lot of CC, then it can be good, and you're just absolute frontline. They have a lot of burst. You're not going to be useful. They have a lot of CC. You just go in, press your R. You want to survive as long as possible. Then that does then Steraks is good, but you build it maybe together with Sun and Sky, those type of build, Sun and Sky, Titanic Hydra into Steraks, and you just live as long as possible, and you're the main engaged. That's really good. But it's not a core item anymore. Absolutely not. It's not, doesn't give enough stats. This Visage is fine. I think it's good. It's got buffed because it's cheaper. And you build it for the passive, right? So even though they nerfed the stats, but they put it lower, it costs less. That's worth, because you build it for the passive. So especially if you're playing Sun and Sky and Eclipse build, then you get at even more value. And I think you can build Shield Bash now. Shield Bash seemed pretty good last game. So I actually think Spirit Switch is better for Vi now than it has been. Nice Vow is buildable if you have a really fat carry and you're playing more of a supportive. You're not playing to carry. It can be really good. People overlook this item. If you have one carry specifically that is super fed, it can be amazing. It absolutely be a game saver. War Monks, nope. Jack Show. I'm gonna put it back. It's better than it was. I think it can be a decent like last item. It got buffed in my opinion because fights. Everybody has a little bit less damage. So you're going to have more time to stack it up in team fights. That's the point, right? So I think it's better, more of a situational, maybe a 6th item. in general, you're not going to buy this before like 5th or 6th item. Not at all. So last or second last item, you're going to build this, and then it's like, then it's really good. Otherwise, it's pretty bad. I'm just gonna put it, it can be good, but not great. So I was really hoping that Iceborne would get good. It looked like it got buffed, but it's so expensive now, and it doesn't do that much damage. And the slow is not like super relevant to buy, even though you use the Sheen passive well. The slow isn't that amazing because you have a lot of CC to begin with, so you're holding stock, so the slow isn't that important. The sticking, you're more for setup, especially if you're playing a tank build to begin with. You're not playing to like chase people down, you're playing to engage and just lock them up. And then the slow is fairly irrelevant, and it does this less damage than I was hoping for. It's too expensive. I think this item is going to need some buffs or make vibe better with it. So then it's on to more of the full damage items. Those actually stayed pretty good this patch. So Opportunity got better, it got buffed, it got 10 lethality, great item right now. If you're playing full lethality Vi, crit got nerfed overall. Hubris is situational. If you want to snowball, I think it can be good. I haven't tested it enough, but I think Hubris is fine if you're going at. I really didn't like before, and I still don't, but I think it's so good right now compared to the many items because it didn't get nerfed at all. So now it's better compared to the rest, right? So you can't really snowball with this, but it's a bit risky. And the reason why I don't like more than Opportunity is because it's not great at getting those first initial kills. And that's what's really important about getting that one shot with your ultimate right when you need it. And then you can use the extra like kills to get more damage instead of like having to, it's more of a win more item, which I don't like. Terminus is not going to build this. Aximark got buffed, so I think it's fine. Good, meh. I think it's fine, but it's kind of the same situation as Hubris, but a bit worse that it's more of a win more item. I think you're fine with going Ultimate Hunter now. When you're going Lethality Vi, Halo Blades, Ultimate Hunter, then you don't really need it that much. And you're also going to Lucidity Boots. So I don't think it's great. It's fine, but a bit of a win more item. Edge of Night is pretty good. I would say it's good right now. It got a bit more expensive, which is not great for the item because you're buying it for the passive. But the stats are pretty good, and with other items overall managed to do okay. Essence River is pretty bad. Infinity Edge is way too expensive for a jungler. And it doesn't give enough damage anymore either. Lord Dominic's pretty bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Mo, forgot to put this in the Bruiser items, but Mo is still good. Still a really good item if you need going a lot of damage. You're building Turn the Sky, maybe you have a Trinity Force or a Hydra, and then you want some more damage because you're really carrying that game, but they have a lot of magic damage. Then you're going Mo instead of going one of the AP. No, magic resist items. Mortal Miner is good. There is a bit of healing now, and there are longer fights, and it still is one of the crit items that still managed to do pretty good. So if you really want Armor Pen, and you're playing a full damage assassin kind of a build, then I think Mortal Miner is really good. So Serpent Fang also seems it's a situational item. If they build a lot of or have a lot of shields, then it's also obviously good. It stayed the same in the stats, so it's a really good item. Many items lost a lot of stats. It didn't. Mana Moon, I think is worth experimenting with. It's a bit of a slow item, but it has insane damage once you come online. So when you're hitting that 2- Pyro Spike and completes Mana Moon, absolutely one-shotting. So I think it's worth testing a bit more. But I think it has potential this season. Voltaic Blade is situational. Has the same stats. It's still pretty good. It maybe lost 5 haste. Doesn't really matter. Profane got... it's a bit cheaper. Lost quite a bit of damage, which is a bit unfortunate. I don't know if it's good enough. I think it's kind of meh. I think it's too slow compared to Opportunity and other lethality items. Then we have Thrilda, which got sort of buffed. I think at least for Vi, unless you're going like full lethality, you can go this earlier now, but it's not great. I think you're better off with Mortal. Yeah, it's 30% flat now, so it's slightly better to buy early if they're stacking a lot of armor, but I don't think it's a great item. I think you're better off with the Mortal Miner in many cases. And then we have Collector, which is absolutely disgustingly expensive now for less stats, and you're not going to build this. Way too slow, way too expensive. It's very sad because I really enjoyed playing lethality into crit. Now it's not worth doing the same transition, in my opinion. I think it's too slow. Then you have to be insanely fed. Then it's fine to go like Ghostblade, Opportunity. Ghostblade is still really good, so Opportunity, Ghostblade are the two like really good lethality or like assassin items. And then you have Edge of Night as a situational, and you also have Serpent's Fang. You can build a Hubris, and then you can really start to do some really insane damage. You also got Profane to do a lot of AoE once you get that damage, and Mortar Miner if you need the pen, or you can go LDR if they have absolutely zero healing reduction. You can consider Rilda, but I think the others are better. That's pretty much it. Okay, we got Boots. It was fun while it lasted. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Don't build mobility boots, please. Or like the new channel items. They haven't updated this icon. Don't build Berserker Rears, please. Lucidity got buffed. So I think it's the S tier boots. Like when it comes to boots, it got 15 less haste, but it's 100 gold cheaper. That's absolutely worth. And all the other, except for Tabites, got buffed. So Swifties is still an S tier boot. If they don't have like insane amount of CC, you plan on building a lot of CDR. Imagine you're planning to build, for example, Sun and Sky into Black Cleaver, then you're naturally getting a lot of CDR. Then it's fine. Yeah, 5 less. I said 15 haste left. No, I meant it was from 15 to 10. So it's a really good item. Swift is the same, absolutely awesome. You're so quick around the map. It's also easy to space and land your Q because you're able to get into range. That's been a big problem with Vi this season because it's been so much like mobility in the game. It's been really hard to connect Qs actually and getting to proper range, because if you don't connect Q, it's very hard to actually make engages. So Mercs got nerfed. They're hell of expensive. I don't like them very much. Pretty nerfed. They're good if you absolutely need them, but they're very situational. I wouldn't build them in most games. Then they have to have a lot of magic damage, a lot of CC for it to be worth it. Like if you absolutely have to have them, build them. If not, I think you're better off building the City Boots, Swifties, or Tabis, and then just build MR items instead. Because also with Vi, even though CC is annoying, you can buffer a lot of CC with your Q and ultimate, which you should do because your R is unstoppable, so you can buffer CC with it, and your Q can as well. Like if you know you're about to get stunned, you can use the Q to kind of have some animation while you're getting stunned. So that's very good. And then we have the jungle items, because many have been requesting them as well. Gustwalker, obviously S tier. You're so quick. If you don't know what to do, go Gustwalker. It's just going to make you a lot better. It makes it much easier to make picks. You're so quick around the map. It's absolutely awesome. Really good for snowballing. If you're playing Assassin, you go this every single time. If you're playing Bruiser, you can also go green, which I think is very good. I don't know if it's S. It's good, I would say. It's like pretty close to Gustwalker overall, but if you're playing for a lot of team fights, Gustwalker is absolutely, no, the green one is absolutely amazing. Don't remember what it's called for whatever reason, but doesn't matter. And then we have this, which you're never going to go. pretty much. So if you're playing for team fights, if the enemy has a lot of poke, and then green is very good. If you're playing for picks and playing for snowball, or just overall nothing is particularly good, then you just go the blue smite. So that's all the items. If I missed anyone, like this one too, don't build this. Valkyrie, I know you want to. Don't build this. Don't build Bork. Don't build this. This is actually more acceptable. I'm going to put this in bad. I think we covered most of it. If you if you disagree, that's fine. But that's my take for now. To get some sort of like overview of the situation, I think that's going to be helpful. So yeah.